Video Fearless fam, I got something really special planned for you. I'm about to teach you my video confidence formula. It's my special proprietary system that I developed based upon my own video and speaking on camera fortunes and misfortunes. I've used it to teach people all over the world how to start video marketing, discover their confidence really quickly, and it works like a charm. Amani Channel here. This is Video Fearless, where I help business owners, video marketers to attract leads, clients, build their following, build their influence and authority with simple tips and techniques, even if you're terrified of making videos or don't understand the tech. All right, so I've been thinking about whether or not I really want to teach you this, because I usually teach this to my paid clients and students, but I was like, look, I really think this needs to be out there because this is important information. So this is the video confidence formula I'm going to teach you. Probably the first 3 steps of it. It's a 6-step process, but because I don't want this video to go super long, I'll teach you the first 3 steps of it. Now, this system works really well for people who are just starting their video marketing journey, for people who are afraid of the camera, who don't understand the tech, any of those things. And there's really 2 sides to making videos, right? You got to understand the messaging and you got to have the equipment. And so this formula kind of covers everything. And so that's why it works so well. And the best part is it works really, really fast. So I had a student named Squire who was really one of the first people I coached. And I did a call with her. And when I did my call with her, she was like, the problem that I have is that my mind always goes blank whenever I try to make a video. She was really frustrated. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's happened to me dozens of times. So I tested her during our call, and sure enough, she couldn't, I just put her on the spot kind of sort of, and she really struggled to speak on camera. And this is via Zoom. She lives in Germany. She's a law of attraction coach. And so I did a quick little exercise with her. I told her to turn off her camera. I did a quick exercise with her, and 15 minutes later, she was speaking on camera. So once I had success with Charlotte, I knew that this formula would work, and this worked with folks. If you watched the video, yesterday's video, you would have seen a Misty Harris who didn't understand either the tech and she didn't feel comfortable sharing a message. She really suffered from imposter syndrome, where she felt like a fake at the thought of sharing her message on camera. And she's gone on to be very successful in her video marketing, attract folks and new clients, to grow her influence on Facebook by just going live on Facebook twice a week. So after she went through my program, she caught fire and started going live twice a week, and has really found success through that. So I know this system works. It really works well. So if you're frustrated because you can't seem to just get a thought out, if you don't know exactly the equipment, then this system will work for you. All right, and I based it off of my own experiences as a news reporter. So I was really challenged when I first started reporting, and you probably heard my story, but a mentor finally came to me. He was like, look, Amani, he was a photographer at my station, a cameraman. He's like, look, man, you got to figure it out. And so he really put me through the ringer. He really put me through the school of hard knocks. He used to count my ums, and he gave me some techniques and gave me some things to think about a little differently about my delivery and about my performance. And when I applied his tips to myself, I was able to communicate as a reporter. And I very quickly, once I figured it out, was able to communicate in my own authentic voice. All right. So I developed this video confidence formula off of my own experiences and also through helping other students. So I know it works. It's going to work for you. And like I said, I usually don't share this publicly, but I'm going to share it with you right now. By the way, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of these tips that I share in this series. And let's get into it. All right, so the first step is you got to commit. Committing is really important. It's also committing is the first step of the 3 C's, right? You got to commit. Why do you have to commit? Well, because you have to be committed towards improvement. You have to be committed towards practicing. You have to be committed towards learning the skill and the craft of making videos. And it is a craft, right? There's the art and science to it. There's the creativity, but yet there's a step-by-step process that really is used in all videos. And if you go back to video number 2 in this series, you will I'll teach my video production formula, which is a step-by-step method that you'll use to make videos. All right, but aside from that, the first thing you got to do is commit. Remember, you got to commit. You got to be committed. You got to be committed to both learning and then applying the things that you learn. So don't just take some notes and don't take action. That's the worst thing you could do, is be a perpetual learner, right? Because especially with video marketing, you have to be a person of action, because the action is what's going to conquer your fears, and the action is what's going to get you proficient, and the action is what's going to get you feeling comfortable in sharing your message on camera. If you don't practice, it's all for naught pretty much. All right. So the first step is you got to commit. And then I say after you commit, and you don't have to follow this order necessarily, but it's just the order that I sort of distilled my information into. After you commit, you got to gear up. What does that mean? Well, it means you have to maybe invest in some gear. Maybe you got to figure out what gear you have and just get started with what you have. But what I say at the minimum, you got to have a camera, first of all. And if you have a webcam, you have that. If you have a smartphone, you have that. So you have a camera. And then you need some light. And I've demonstrated in past videos why lighting is important. I'm just in my home office. It isn't really an elaborate setup, but I do have a couple lights set up, and lighting is really important. And I'll demonstrate why right now. Just because lighting puts emphasis on your subject, and it'll make your shot really pop. Like even if your camera isn't really the best camera, some lighting will make it look 100% better. So make sure you have some sort of lighting, whether it's a table lamp, a desk lamp, just put some light on the subject. That's really important. All right, the other piece of equipment that I suggest you get is a microphone. All right, whether it's a mobile microphone or a USB microphone. All right, there's some very affordable ones. There's the Yeti. I use a Rode NT USB microphone. And so, there's plenty of USB microphones if you just do some research. Some of them are more out of stock because of COVID, but you can certainly find a make or a model on the market right now. Go to Amazon, go to bhphoto.com. You'll be able to find a microphone. All right, so that's the first two steps. What do? We got to commit, we got to gear up, and then we got to plan. And what I mean by plan? What I mean by plan is we got to plan our message, importantly, because if you gear up, you already know what kind of gear you need, but then you got to plan what you're going to say. And so why is that important? Well, because you have to know who you're talking to. You have to know who your ideal audience is, who your ideal client or customer is, or who your fan or who you're talking to is really important, because you want to talk to that one person whenever you make a video. All right. So you got to plan your message around that. And there's a structure that you use whenever you're sharing a message. You can start with a question. You can start with a statement. You can tell people what they're going to know. This is a great formula to use when you're sharing a message. Is you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. And then within that, you got to weave in some storytelling. You got to weave in some pain points. You got to agitate their pain a little bit. And then it's really important to prove why your system works as well. All right. So you got to do those things if you're making a video. All right. So remember, you got to tell a story. You got to make your audience feel empowered. You got to put them in control. You got to educate them, and sometimes you got to educate them. So you might want to share a tip, a technique, solve a problem for them is really important. That can be an effective way to build that rapid know, like, and trust. And then if you weave in some hero's journey messaging, that's always really important. Now, the hero's journey is something that I teach and I go over in my video confidence school. So that's just another way to effectively share a story. It's just an enhanced way to share a story, really, to build that rapid know, like, and trust. All right. So let's go over these steps once again. The first three steps: you gotta commit. First of all, you gotta have the gear, and then you gotta plan. And when I say plan, I mean you gotta plan your message. What are you gonna say? Who you're talking to? And a lot of folks like to use a teleprompter when you're planning. Do you use do you write out your information verbatim? I don't suggest you do that. I'm going to get into that in another video, but I don't suggest you write out your information verbatim. Like, it shouldn't be a memorization kind of thing, because if you're an expert, let's imagine we're in a meeting, right? If we're like at a coffee shop, you're not going to have a planned presentation necessarily memorized that you're going to share with me. You're just going to talk to me off the top of your head. You're just going to share what information you know from your experience. All right. So just think about that as you sort of plan your video. And then once you get to that stage, you are halfway there. All right. The next remaining three steps are super simple. But what I want to do is I want you to listen to Charlotte Squire, who is the person that I talked about earlier in this video, and I'm gonna let her tell her story about how she went from being a shy, I'm pretty sure she's introverted too, like me, and how she found her success in video marketing just by following my simple instructions and my simple advice. So let's take a listen to Charlotte Squire now.
My name is Charlotte Squire. I'm a certified law of attraction coach and a mindset mentor, and Amani Channel has been coaching me to speak on video. So what was my situation? As a coach, I realized a long time ago that video and coaching, they go hand in hand. Getting my message out there, talking on webinars and doing trainings, connecting to my tribe on a really personal and deep level. And also, let's face it, everyone's out there doing live video on Facebook nowadays. That is, everybody, apart from me. Apart from me. So I knew I needed to get on video. But I had this really big issue. Every time I tried to create a video, I felt really self-conscious. I couldn't get the words out. My mind went blank. So I'd almost given up. But then I was really lucky because I met Amani Channel and he's been coaching me. So I remember we had a coaching session and he put me on the spot. He said to me, Charlotte, talk about the law of attraction. And as a law of attraction coach, you know, you think I'd be able to talk about the law of attraction, yeah? Yeah? No. My mind went blank. I felt nervous. I felt so self-conscious. I started stuttering. I just couldn't find any words. My mind was so blank. I felt paralyzed. But the thing is, Amani created a really safe space for me, a space where you feel it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. He was very motivating, very patient. He made suggestions and gave me some tips. And all of a sudden, just like this, I don't know, a switch just turning on, the words just flowed out of me. And that was really amazing. I realized for the first time, hey, maybe I can do this. So I've been practicing and practicing and practicing, and of course I'm not perfect yet and I've got a long way to go, but one thing is amazing, I'm really enjoying it, having so much fun. I never thought I'd say that. So Amani, you are totally professional, you are a total profi, you know your stuff. You also create the most amazing safe space, have loads of ideas, are very motivating, very caring. So if you're anybody interested or anybody thinking of doing a course with Amani, yes, go for it. I would do it. Highly recommended. So I just want to say thank you, Amani. Thank you so much.
All right, so that's awesome, and kudos to Charlotte. She's just continued to excel and to make videos. I commented on one of her recent videos. I was like, you're getting better and better, and it's really a process, right? So even if you take my information, and it might take you a little while to get warmed up or to apply it, the thing is you have to take action eventually to find that success. And I know my system works because I have plenty of success stories that I'm going to share with you in the upcoming days. All right, by the way, I'm going to open up on one of my programs in a few days. I'm going to share more details coming up soon. But if you aren't interested, I'd love for you to become a student. If you're interested in joining, if you're really ready to take that leap and accelerate your video marketing, of course, I'm sharing awesome tips that are hopefully adding value. But if you want a course, a program that will teach you all the things you need to do to get video confident and to start making videos the video market, this will be for you. All right. All right. So once again, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share this with someone you know and love, because I really want to bless people. Video is like the most powerful way to share a message. It's the most powerful way to influence people. It's the most powerful way to serve people. And so it's time for you to get started. It's time for you to get video fearless. So Amani Channel, hopefully this was helpful. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.